Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. It is a different time for me. It's 5 o'clock. So, good afternoon, evening. Let me know what time it is where you are. Um, I'm looking a hot mess today. I just got back from vacation. So, I got vacation hair. I got some sun on my face, but I am ready to go. Before we get started, I want to give people a chance to pop on. And I also wanted to remind you that celebration is still happening. I am loving celebration. If you don't have, let me show you this brochure. Go ahead and send me a message. I will pop one in the mail for you. I'm going to the post office tomorrow. So if you need a celebration brochure, a mini catalog, an annual catalog, anything like that, just let me know and I will be sure to send one out to you. I do want you to know about my August ordering specials that go along with celebration. So for $50, you get the color and contours or tutorials. And for $100, you get the tutorials plus a pack of the Fresh Freesia blends. They're called, I'm still on vacation, everybody. And you also get the celebration perk. So for $50, you get a free $50 level stamp set plus my tutorials. For $100, you get a $100 level one plus the tutorials plus the blends. It's so fun. So, and then also, if you place any dollar amount order in my online store, it is Mystery Host Month because it is my birthday month and I want to celebrate it with you guys. So at the end of the month, I'm going to be selecting randomly one person to win all of the Stampin' Rewards. Right now, the Stampin' Rewards are at $15. So if you place an order, you will get $15 in free product along with whatever you earn during celebration, along with whatever you earn through my ordering specials. There is a lot going on and a lot of ways to earn absolutely free product. And like I did mention, we did just get back from vacation. I posted a reel on my Instagram, and this was what it was. So I'll just give you a glimpse into what we did while I look for the video and pull up the comments. And then we'll get started on today's project. So that was Traverse City. I live in Michigan, in Saginaw, and we went about 2.5 hours north near Traverse City. We went to Empire Beach, which is about 30 minutes outside of Traverse City. It was so fun. I had a blast. So that's it for the announcements. Now let me turn my camera off and get set up so that you can see my table here. Just give me 1 second. And let's see. A little crooked, but it works. So this is the card we're making today. And it uses the Free as a Bird stamp set, which I've buried here, which is this one. And it comes with these cute little birdies. And these are so fun for me to color. You can use blends on these. Today we're going to be using the watercolor pencils. And we're still talking about thank you cards and being thankful this week. So this is a thank you card. And we're going to be using 5 different watercolored pencils. So these come from both assortments. There's 2. There's the watercolor pencils if you search the online store, and then there's the watercolor pencils assortment 2. And the colors I'm going to be using are Balmy Blue, Granny Apple Green, Early Espresso, Flirty Flamingo, and Daffodil Delight. So first we need, my piece of cardstock. So I just used a Balmy Blue base for this, and then this is a piece of basic white, and it measures 5 1/4 by 4. And after this video, there will be a blog post with all the measurements, all the products I use if you're having a hard time finding them. And I'm also going to be using StazOn, which is a permanent jet black ink. And I'm using StazOn because it is water resistant. Once it dries, that's not going anywhere. Where Memento, it bleeds a little bit. I didn't want to use that for watercoloring. So I'm getting the Big Bird stamp out, Big Bird, and I'm putting it on in E-Block, which I need to clean. Let me get my sample out of the way there. I'm going to take the StazOn, and oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know, it smells so good to me. Some people say it smells like almonds. I don't smell almonds. I just think it smells good. When you don't go around sniffing ink, but this stuff does smell good. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp there. And I'm kind of going for the top portion. So if you're thinking of this as the middle, just slightly above the middle of the card. So about like that. And push down. Not too hard, but hard enough to get a nice crisp image like that. And then for StazOn, you do need a special cleaner. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that the winner of the hand pen paper from last week was Pamela Ritter. I've already messaged her, and her paper is going out tomorrow. If you'd like to win my next giveaway, which I will be telling you about at the end of this video, just go ahead and leave a comment. You can say hello. You can tell me where you're from, what time it is, how much you like birds, whatever you feel like talking about. Every comment is a chance to win. Well, not every comment, sorry. One comment per person per entry. I'm still on vacation, so. All right, my stamp is clean. I did use my StazOn cleaner, and I just tapped it on the stamp and then scrubbed it on my Stampin' scrub. Now the StazOn does stain photopolymer stamps. I'm okay with that. Some people don't like to use their photopolymer stamps with StazOn. I do. All right, so now let's get into the coloring. So first I'm gonna go in with the balmy blue. And since we're going over this with the water painters, I'm not being too particular. You just want to get a decent amount of color. And like I said, I'm not trying to stay in the lines, or I am trying to stay in the lines, so I'm not trying to make it too filled in, because I'm going to show you, and it's a really cool coloring technique. If you like coloring, I highly suggest these watercolor pencils. So that's the bird, and he is blue, or they are blue. And then I took the Early Espresso pencil and just kind of lightly with this one. You don't want to go, Early Espresso is a very bold brown. So I just kind of lightly went down the branch with it. I don't want to get too heavy-handed. And then the Granny Apple Green for the leaves. And I don't know, for the leaves, I'm kind of doing a little bit of a circular motion. That's probably why on my sample, I'm outside the lines a little bit. But yeah, if you love coloring, this is the watercolor pencils are good things to have. Hello, Andrea. Good evening or afternoon or whatever people call 5 p.m. I know it's 5 p.m. too where you are. And then, oh, she says, ooh, watercolor pencils. I bet my hubby would love those. Mine does. He actually borrows my watercolor pencils sometimes to do his art projects. So they're really fun, I think. And I'm not an artist. Ryan can draw. He's like a copy machine. If I show him a picture on the internet, he can draw it for me. So he actually really likes using these. All right, and then I'm taking the Daffodil Delight and just going over the beaks. And not a ton. Like I said, I did want to go back in a little bit with this balmy blue and get the tops of their heads a little bit because I kind of missed that. So now I'm going to take a water painter. And when you order the water painters, they come in a set of 3. And I'm just using the one with this bristle here. I don't know, I guess the small bristle. I'll show you the other one so you know what I'm talking about. I guess this is the medium bristle. So there's the small one. And then it comes with like this flat bristle. I gotta get back in there without ruining, which I'll do later. So you could use the small one too if you're really concerned about the details. I'm not so much, so I'm going to go in with the medium one. And as soon as you add water, to add water, you just unscrew this, fill it with water, and then you push the sides down, and it gets the bristles all watery. Maybe, let me test it over here. There we go. And then you just go through. And I'm sorry if you can hear anything in the background. Ryan's apparently on the speakerphone with his mother, it sounds like, and I can hear everything. So I'm hoping you guys can't and it's not too distracting. I have to yell at him later. Andrew says, hubby is definitely the artist. I don't know how he paints like he does. Exactly. I don't know how Ryan does that. He doesn't really paint so much as he draws. And I've had him make, custom cards for me. My niece really likes trolls. So he's actually drawn Poppy for me, and he's really good at that kind of stuff. I'm not. So I have him do the artwork, and then I color it. I like coloring. So see, like I said, with the water painters, you don't really have to, when you color with the pencils and the water painters, the watercolor pencils, you don't really have to go all the way to the edge because the water painter here is doing that for me. So I'm just doing all the bluebirds first, and then I will show you how to clean off this. So then what I do is I just go on my grid paper here, squeeze a little more water out, and make sure it's clear before I go into the next color. So now we're going to do the branch. Andrew says, hubby does both paint and draw, but he definitely loves painting more. Ryan tried to paint for a little while. He did not love it. So he draws. And you can't hear him. That's good. I'm glad, because I sure can. I don't know what's going on, something about beans. I don't know, but I sure can hear it. I'm glad you can. Now we're going to go over the leaves and see how that just spreads out the color. And so we're just going to go over this, and then the last part is the flower. And this actually goes pretty quick, I think. It's a lot quicker for me anyways than using the blend sometimes and going over it with two different colors. And then this does take a little bit to dry because it is water. But as long as you don't saturate it with water too much, it shouldn't be too bad for dry time. We're just going to go ahead and put this together now. So that is all for the blending of the colors there. And then I cut out a little label here from the, you guessed it, Tasteful Label dies. They're my favorite. I don't know how I ever lived without these, but I use this guy here to cut him out. And there's I love this set. So even if I don't really actually use the stamp set that bundled with this, it was bundled in last year's annual catalog, but I use these dies on so many projects. And every time I make a card to show you guys, I go, don't use Tasteful Labels, and I still use them anyway because they're my favorite and I love them. So I cut that out, and we're going to get our Stays On back out and the thank you stamp. Whoops, I'm dropping stamps. Oh, that wasn't my way. That was hello. Where'd thank you go? There it is. And I'm going to use an B block for this. And then just my Stays On. Make sure I get good ink on there. And I like to line it up on my grid paper just to make sure everything's straight. That looks good to me. And again, with the Stays On ink, you're going to want to use the Stays On cleaner. With Memento ink, you don't have to. I probably could have grabbed that. It's right here too, but I went with Stays On for consistency. I'm just going to clean that off, and I just tap the Stays On right directly onto the stamp. On the wet side and the dry side, it's all clean. And I made a little smudge, it looks like, on my card, but you know what? That's okay. We'll cover it with an embellishment, because that's what embellishments are for. And did I do anything to the inside? I did. And now my cat's trying to open the door, guys. We've been gone too long. So this is a balmy blue card base cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to use the flower stamp. This is the inside panel. That's 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to use this flower stamp in here, the A block again. And then I'm going to grab my balmy blue ink pad just to decorate the inside quickly. There's the flower on each corner there. Set that aside. And then I have some of the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. And this comes with white, black, gray granite, and berry vanilla. And I'm going to use the white twine. And what I did was kind of a faux bow technique. I don't know what to call it, but I basically took my twine and folded it up 3 times, and then I tied it into a knot. And this is a lot simpler for me than actually making a bow. I think that's why I picked to do it this way. Oh, you got to pull everything through there. And then I just cut the ends. And then I'll trim it up once I put it on the card. So it's like a faux, I don't know, I don't know what to call it. If you have a good name for it, let me know. I'm just going to take up 2 pieces of Scotch tape. I'm putting this at the lower, like, third of the card on the back. Wrapping it around. That cat is out there losing his mind. I'm really glad you can't hear the things that are happening in my house because I can, and it's making me crazy. So now we're going to take a glue dot and my paper piercer. You could also use it, take your pick tool or the tip of your scissors. And I'm just going to take one glue dot, oops, and kind of roll it into a ball. And I'm going to take my little knot here, push it on there, and I'm going to try to hide my little smudge. And then just push it there so it looks like it's all part of it. And I'm just going to trim the edges. And then get a few dimensionals for our sentiment. And I kind of placed it on top of the ribbon there. And then we need a few opal rounds. And again, you can take your paper piercer or the tip of your scissors, whatever you have. And I'm just placing 3 randomly around, and then we will be ready to assemble, oops, our card. If I can grab one, my goodness. Okay, now I'm going to get my Stampin' seal and just run that along the back. Put that down on my card base. And then our inside. And that is it. Now I have 2 of these pretty little free as a bird cards. Now you'll see once it dries, it does lighten up quite a bit. Well, I don't know, it's not quite a bit, but it does dry up a little bit. So like I said, Pamela Ritter won the hand penned Petals Designer Series paper from last week. This week I am giving away, I don't have it handy, I'm giving away the Expressions in Ink Designer Series paper. So, yeah, I don't know if you remember from a few weeks ago, but we talked all about the Expressions in Ink sweeps. And I got a tag here that I'm just going to open and show you. Now, this is a sampler, and it's going to be 6 by 6, just because it's easier to mail. But I'll show you this paper that you could win. So when you buy a full pack, it comes with 2 of each design. I love that one. So these are going to be cut down though to 6 by 6. And I'll show you that. So all you have to do to win is to leave a comment on this video, even if you're watching the replay. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and leave a comment, and I will draw a winner next Friday morning. And I will be live again on Sunday in my VIP group. And if you watch on Sunday, you'll get a preview of what we'll be talking about in the coming week. Hint, hint, my birthday is coming up, so that's a little hint of what we're talking about. So if you want to join my VIP group, click the link in the description. If I don't see you on live on Sunday, I will see you next Friday. So have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.